All right, Matt, time for another round. What do you think?
I'm excited. Let's go and dive into this week's episode of Behind the Bracket. I'm here with FBU Team Mississippi Team Director Marcus Dent. Marcus, how are you doing?
Man, I'm blessed today, brother. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are things? Look, Mississippi has been a staple in the FBU National Championship tournament for quite some time now. You guys are in that powerhouse division bracket region in the Southeast with GFL, GMSAA. Tell us a little bit about how you guys are doing this year and what challenges are in front of you in that region.
Well, the biggest challenge, I guess, for us all is COVID-19. Some kids in the middle school are not playing this year, so it made it a little bit difficult to be able to go out and get some kids. But, just the name FBU and everybody knows, what FBU brings to the table for exposure and letting kids know where they stack up in football and in this football country. I think we're getting the kids to come out. Week before last was our first, really just try out. And we had about 60 kids in each division. And we're actually having more kids come and say, hey, look, I just found out about it. Didn't know y'all was doing it this year. So we're going to be stacked. We got a 7th grade team that was a good 6th grade team last year. They, I think, gave GFL all they wanted, and those kids are hungry. They're ready to come back and try to avenge themselves.
All right. Hey, a little hunger, a little fire in the belly for those guys. Marcus, it's certainly a challenging year right now with COVID-19, and I know that teams all across the country that are participating in this tournament are struggling with doing tryouts, trying to get kids out there. But of the kids that have come out and that are slotted to be on your 6th, 7th, or 8th grade team, are there any that are standing out that, might really make a name for themselves on the national scene this December?
Trey Trippett, he played last year as a 5th grader and really stood out as a 5th grade linebacker, and he ran the ball a little bit. And he's a kid that I've been knowing for a long time. Actually, I put his first pair of shoulder pads on him at 5 years old. So he's going to be a good one in the 6th grade bunch. You got Kenyon Wilson, Kenyon Wilson, and Kingston Williams. My bad. He's an athlete type kid, 6th grade. He's gonna help them out. In the 7th grade, we got Ryder White. He went to Top Gun, was one of the top performers at Top Gun. He's a linebacker, running back kid, just an all-around kid. And, we got a 6'4", 275-pound tackle, Hazen Shelton. That's going to be a great one. He played last year. He's coming back on that team. Eric remembers the Griffin kid, our receiver. He's about 6'2", about 175 pounds. He burnt JFL for about 3 touchdowns, so they'll remember him. So, those kids on the 7th grade, that 7th grade bunch, I think that's our strongest bunch, but who knows? Everybody else might show up and, have that hunger and, want to be able to compete at that level. Right now, with the 8th grade, we have Michael Jones. He's a big defensive end, 6'4", about 225. Rangy, long arms. He's a kid to watch. He's going to be one of those, kids that just got that it factor when you look at him. We have a defensive tackle, Tamarius Young from I think he's from West Point, Mississippi. And West Point, they right there. They won like 4 or 5 state championships in a row. So it just keep on going. And the athletes Mississippi have, we're not a very big state, but per capita we always stay at the top 2 or 3 in the NFL when it comes to athletes.
Well, with that kind of talent, it looks like, Marcus, it's only a 60-minute draw show, all right? This thing could go on all night with the amount of time you guys are listening off. It sounds like you guys are primed to make a run this year and really challenge the GFLs, GMSAs that are going to be in that Southeast region bracket this year. Now, Marcus, what has been the impact of participating in the FBU National Championship for Team Mississippi meant, to your program, to that community down there? What have the benefits been? Obviously, we've seen a few youngsters move forward and play in the FBU Freshman All-American Bowl, which has vaulted them to the next level. But overall, what has the tournament done for you guys down there?
Well, it gives the kid what I call the measuring stick. You're able to go to a different state, see guys from other states, and you just see, whether, you see where you need to go. You're right here, and you need to go here. And for my first group that I went, that we took, we probably got about 15 kids that's playing in the Mississippi-Alabama game, in all-star games across the state. Out of those 30 kids that we took, we probably got about 15 D1 kids on that team. They had D1 offers, including, Florida State, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, so Virginia Tech. So the list goes on. And, it gave those kids opportunity to say, hey, look, this is what I need. I need to go back and get better. Your neighbors, it's good competition, but when you get the chance to go outside of the state and see what other people offer, then that really raised the bar.
I think that's the beauty of the tournament. Obviously, something that you guys understand is the opportunity to compete with such high-level talent in other areas, because you can be the big dog in your part of town, but once you step outside those state lines, there's a couple other just as big or even bigger dogs waiting for you. So that's the beauty of this tournament, the opportunity to do that. But before we let you go tonight, Marcus, one final question. How's Team Mississippi going to do this year? Is this a year you guys really break through and punch your ticket down to Naples, Florida?
The coaches right now, that's their biggest challenge, and that's what they want to do. And, me and you talked about, different things, different regions came up that we probably could have went somewhere else, but they want to stay. GFL has been punching people in the face for a while, and, we're not going to back down from anybody. We're coming. So, right now, we want to stay here, and I think this is the year that we punch that ticket.
If you want to win the trophy, you got to be the best. It doesn't matter where you start. So, Marcus, certainly appreciate the time tonight. We're looking forward again to having Team Mississippi in the FBU National Championship. And hopefully during the 10th anniversary, I'll be seeing you down in Naples, Florida this December.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, have a good one. All right,
thanks. We are now joined by one of the team directors from a powerhouse program, GMSAA. We welcome to the show Mark Flanigan. Mark, how you doing today?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
It's great to see you. We even got Joe Buffard up in the Northeast there peeking in a little bit too. Mark, look, let's hop right in. It's the 10th anniversary of the tournament. You guys have been to Naples for championship week multiple times. Tell us a little bit about what it's going to take to get back to championship week this year, especially with everything going on.
Well, we've really been challenged. We're all just really thankful that we're able to play football just right out of the gate. We've had a lot of challenges with moms, especially being fearful of their kids coming out. We've had problems with just really socialization. People are not really over all of this yet. But people are starting to come back to football once the high school programs here in Georgia opened up. Our FBU was great. We had probably 3 times the turnout for tryouts that we've ever had.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. We were all kind of following the leads of some of the high school programs, and it's a different challenge this year. You're almost, teaching kids and parents and families and communities how to interact together again, right? In a different style environment. So such a unique challenge. But, now that we're moving forward, what are some of the things that you specifically and your program are looking forward to most in this year's tournament?
What we're trying to do is we're trying to capitalize on the success that we've had the last couple of years, a modicum of success that we've really learned how to turn the corner and how to recruit talent and how to get kids from just all the programs here in Georgia to be inclusive, not just only in our own little league, but to get the people in all of Georgia. And of course, I have to give a shout out to GFL. That's the other program that's been really successful out of Georgia. And we actually compete against each other, and it's made both programs much better.
I think that's one of the biggest rivalries in this entire tournament. The history of our tournament, the GFL, GMSA rivalry is well documented. We certainly are looking forward to more battles in the 2020 year between you two, and certainly would expect, both of you guys to have teams down in championship week this year in Naples. Speaking of championship week, you guys have been there multiple times with multiple different grade levels, whether it's 6th, 7th, or 8th grade team. What is your favorite part, or what is your program's favorite part about championship week when you have the opportunity to get down to Naples?
Probably the first night when the kids all meet up in the gyms, etc., and it's all the teams together and all the kids with their different uniforms, and the kids are just in awe because they see the talent that's just all around them, especially on the 8th grade level that I was a part of last year. So that was really great. And as far as the tournament, we just really enjoyed getting to that Thursday night game.
Yeah, that first game. Well, this year it'll be on a Saturday with orientation being on a Friday. So we'll have a Saturday game to look forward to. Mark, before I let you go, I want to ask one final question. Let's get to some of the nitty-gritty here. What can we expect from your program in this year's tournament from an on-field perspective? And is there a certain or specific student athlete on one of your 3 teams that we should get to know right now?
Well, we have on the 7th grade, we have what's known as he is the 3rd rated linebacker in the nation. His name is Bakari Hamilton, and he is just awesome. We have some great quarterbacks coming out on the 7th grade level. We've got Buster Faulkner coming out of Oconee, plays for David Pollock's team there. And we have another one, Nate Russell, coming out of North Paulding. We've just got a lot of talent. It's just too numerous to mention. The 6th grade, they're actually it's going to be unusual, not just usual. We'll see what we can get when the 6th graders come out. The 6th grade coaches really went after it this year, and they've recruited, heavily. So the 6th grade team is actually going to be a powerhouse too. But we're just now getting to know our teams. We just have recruited and got everybody together. So get back with me in about 2 weeks when we get to know these kids better, and I can really tell you who to watch for.
Well, it sounds like you've got some strong student athletes and a lot of studs that are brewing across all 3 of your grades. And once again, you'll be one of the strong programs that are participating in the tournament this year. So, Mark, we really appreciate your time, and hopefully I'll be seeing you down in championship week this December 18th through 22nd in Naples, Florida.
Yeah, it's a great experience. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Mark. We're here with the South Georgia FBU team director, Coach Michael Robertson. Coach, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. It looks like you had to pull over to take this interview. Look, this is high importance right here.
Hey, this is what I've been looking for all year, man. I love it.
Well, and let's talk about that. I know you're looking forward to the tournament this year. It's been a few years now since South Georgia has had a presence in the FBU National Championship, but you're back this year. Tell us a little bit about what it means to be back in the tournament and the type of impact that has on the South Georgia student athletes.
Okay, well, basically, my 6th grade team now is is the 8th grade team. That's how long we've been out of it, and so they've been hungry and eager to get back into it. And what it's creating, Matt, is that South Georgia just exposing them to what FBUNC is about. And for my son and my brother, Demetrius Robertson, Mike, growing up in it, I firsthand got to witness how much of an important it is to the recruiting process. So just getting these kids exposed to it and letting them understand what's the philosophy around it is going to be important.
And that's a huge piece, right? Is getting them exposed to the opportunities and the platforms like the FBU National Championship,
Right.
so they can be on the radar when the opportunities just get grander at the high school level, the Freshman All-American Bowl, the National Combine, the All-American Bowl, things like that.
Yes.
So, Michael, tell us a little bit now that you're kind of retooling now and reinserting yourselves back into the tournament. How are things shaping up right now with your 6th, 7th, and 8th grade teams?
Oh, it's shaping up real well. What they've allowed me to do is to broaden my area. Now that I'm in that Fayette County, Lower Fayette County area that reaches a little bit outside of Macon down towards the Columbus and stretched all the way back to Savannah. I'm able to reach that quality of athletes that I know that deserve to be on this platform.
Mm-hmm.
So that was important, and that's how I was able to restructure, and it allowed me to retool myself. So now the program, I think, is at a level where we can sustain and stability is there. And you
can have some sustained success over time with the extended reach. And with that extended reach, to be able to, find more student athletes in other areas to bring underneath the South Georgia program umbrella.
Right.
Have you found a few athletes, 1 or 2, maybe across your 6th, 7th, or 8th grade levels that are going to be on the team this year and are primed to kind of announce themselves on the national stage this season?
Oh, most definitely. Now, of course, I know many people have heard we got a kid that's out of Savannah Christian, a lineman that was just recently offered by Georgia.
Wow.
Defensive lineman, Griffin. And then we got a kid that's on the Georgia's also looking at. And 2 kids, actually. One is in that Meriwether County area, Manchester, another lineman. And we have a skilled player with that's in that Meriwether County area. That's their college. So everything is picking up rapidly. We just need to get them on that stage to go against that same quality of players to where colleges know. So when players from that upper Atlanta or national area are offered, they got something to match it up with these other players that they're looking at. So that way they have something to go off of.
Take that level of notoriety and maybe a splash of exposure that they already have, and then throw them up against elite competition from what more well-known or highly recruited areas, and that's the perfect mix right there.
Yes.
I'm sure that some of the teams in your bracket are not excited to hear that some of your linemen already have offers or interest from the University of Georgia. That's a problem right there. So with that being said, how do you guys think you're going to fare? You're obviously in a tough part of the country, a tough bracket, in an overall region, but how do you believe as you get back into the FBU National Championship this season, how do you believe your 6th, 7th, and 8th grade teams are going to fare this year?
And one thing I want to talk about was growth. That 6th grade team that we had that year, GFL was the one that knocked us out, that enabled us to go to Naples.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we're going up against that same quality team. Of course, they've gotten bigger, and of course, some of the players I just mentioned to you that we've added on it as that also addition. So it's going to be. I think we can get to that next level in that before Naples. We got to see how it's going to go. I'm confident this year.
Well, I think with the quality talent and the extended reach that you've got now down in the South Georgia area, certainly people are on notice, and it would not be a surprise to see you guys back in the fold this year and make a run to Naples. So, Coach, we really appreciate the time. Thanks for stopping by, and hopefully we'll see you December 18th through 22nd down in the Paradise Coast for championship week.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir.
And now we're welcoming the FBU team director from Richmond, Virginia, Dave Bickel. Dave, how are you?
Great, Matt. Thanks for having me today. Excited to be here with you and excited to be part of FBU, our inaugural season.
Yeah, we're truly excited. Thank you so much for joining us. We're truly excited about you guys being in the tournament this year. With Richmond being a first-year program, what are some of the things that we can kind of expect from FBU Team Richmond in the 2020 FBU National Championship?
The biggest thing I can start with is a lot of passion, excitement, and energy to be part of FBU. Richmond, and I'll just say Southern and Eastern Virginia, is a football crazy area. It's becoming a college football recruiting hotbed, and the area is excited to really show itself out to the rest of the country and build upon what we're seeing across the high schools and really bring that down to the youth level and bring that passion and excitement outside.
And that's what you want to do, right? You want to bring that passion from top to bottom. So we're excited to see that. What are you guys most looking forward to? We're looking forward to having you guys participate in the regional round, hopefully make it down to Naples. But what is something that Team Richmond is looking forward to the most in regards to participating in this tournament?
Really, it's exciting to start to bridge apart was really I don't want to use the term fractured. There's a lot of leagues in the Richmond area and really all throughout Virginia itself. And the beautiful thing about FBU is it's not tied to a league. It brings everybody together for you to represent your region or your area. And that's where I think that's the big thing, is bringing all the different leagues, teams, and parts of the state together to come out and represent what we call as the 804 and the 757 area codes, and bring those players together and unite to represent our area.
Well, hopefully you guys are doing a great job of uniting the 804 and the 757. Tell us a little bit, maybe a sneak peek. Is there a student athlete or two on one of your three teams that the world should get to know beforehand?
Well, there's certainly a lot of exciting athletes and a lot of great coaches that have come on board. I'll announce one in particular who I'm excited to unleash on the national scene. His name is Caleb Williams. He's a defensive end and tight end for us on the 8th grade team. He's about 6'5". He's an exceptional football and basketball player in the area, and I don't see a better kid than he is an athlete. So I think getting him outside of this area, and he's never really played sports outside of the local area. So for him, it'll be a chance to get onto a bigger scene, and really for the rest of the country to meet a young man named Caleb Williams.
And that's the whole purpose of the tournament, right? Is to, find great student athletes and give them the platform and the opportunity to showcase themselves on a bigger stage with grand competition. With that being said, we've talked a little bit about what you're looking forward to, some of the athletes that you got on your team. Let's get down to it, Dave. How do you guys think you're going to do this year?
Listen, I never know from year to year. I don't like to predict or get too far ahead of ourselves. I'm excited that we're going to put three very competitive teams on the field. We're going to represent strongly in regionals. And listen, we're going to put our best foot forward. If that's good enough to go to nationals, and I'm excited to do it, and I'm excited to go there. I feel good about all the teams, but I know there's a lot of talent that we're going to be up against. We'll see how it goes.
It's always the toughest in year one, and if you continue down the path that you've been going, we have no doubt that you guys will be a mainstay in a program that's down in Naples for many years to come. Dave, we appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you down in the Paradise Coast.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thanks again for having us, and thanks for allowing us to be part of this tremendous program with FBU. Thanks, Matt.
I'm here with the FBU Team Kansas City Team Director, Eric Hulan. Eric, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Matt. How about yourself?
Doing fantastic. Ready to rock and roll. Now, you've been instrumental, along with a few other people on the Kansas City staff, of building up Team Kansas City this year. Obviously, a powerhouse program in years past in the FBU National Championship. Have had some difficult years, the past 2 or 3 years, but from what we're hearing, it sounds like Kansas City is being built back up and potentially is going to be a powerhouse this year. How have things been going thus far?
Things have been going really well, better than expected, Matt. Actually, this last tryout that we had 92 kids that showed up. Right when we started our warm-up period, a few trickled in afterwards, but I'm very happy to see that there's a lot of interest here in the Kansas City area, and when you have more kids, you definitely have a greater chance of getting more talent out there.
100%. That's why when you have tryouts like that with such high numbers, the more kids you get your eyes on, the better chance you have to field an extremely strong and competitive team. Within those tryouts, obviously your rosters are starting to get finalized at the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade level. Who are a few kids that may not be on the radar nationally, but are poised to make an impact in this year's 2020 FBU National Championship?
Well, definitely in 6th grade, I would say it's probably about
three kids that stand out. Corey Mayfield, another kid be Carter Temple that stands out, and probably one other one might be Max Wilson as well. So I would say those three. For seventh grade, I would say definitely DeSager Walker. He's one of the fastest kids probably in the States. You know, I mean, he's an AAU track kid. Nolan Spinks is another kid that's going to be on the rise as well. Timmy Harris is another name that comes to mind, and so does Jordan Irvin. He's a very good lineman, both sides of the football. In eighth grade, I would say definitely some names to throw out there: DJ Harris, James Fike. They're pretty good players that are definitely on the rise as well. Chase Pearsall is a good player that we have also. You know, list could really go on. We have a Nathaniel Reynolds on our team. His brother is like fourth in the nation, not the metro area in Ruston, but fourth in the nation in high school in Ruston. So I mean, TJ Mitchell, Makai Mitchell, their cousins, the Mitchell boys, I call them. So I mean, I could go on and on. I mean, it's not enough time in the day. So I mean, I'm just very happy with the talent pool we have at all three grades.
It sounds like the hard work that's being put in by the staff has paid off with the talent pool that's showing up and is being put together on this FBU Team Kansas City squad for this year. So let's kind of cut through it here. Last year, you guys weren't able to get out of the regionals. What are you expecting from your 6th, 7th, and 8th grade teams this year on the field?
Well, I mean, the expectation this year is going to be a lot more higher than it was last year. You know, we didn't have, obviously, the best, probably the best talent out on the field last year to represent the KC metro area and the region. So, you know, this year, always the goal is that we send all three teams to Florida, and that hopefully is what happens this year.
Eric, I really appreciate the time. I'm excited to see Kansas City Metro in action live at the regional rounds this year. I think the work that has been put in, you can feel it. You can feel the momentum brewing, and that powerhouse train is potentially starting to rev up again. So we appreciate your time tonight, and hopefully in a few weeks, we'll be seeing you down in the Paradise Coast for Championship Week, December 18th through 22nd.
Absolutely. That's the plan. So we'll talk then.
All right.
All right.
Sounds great. FBU Team Indiana team director and former NFL running back, Chad Spann. Chad, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Chad, it's been quite the journey for you. You obviously have a lot of responsibilities in the state of Indiana. You're one of the offensive coordinators for a top high school program in the Midwest, Warren Central, and you took over the FBU Team Indiana job a few years ago while also running one of the top 7-on-7 programs in the country, Indy Select Academy. Tell us a little bit what has grown over the last 3 to 4 years, as you've been the team director for FBU Team Indiana.
I think a lot of things have grown. I think one of the most important things is diversity. We've gotten a lot of kids from a lot of different areas, a lot of different parts of the state, and even some from a little bit further than that, who have all joined the team, have come to tryouts and really helped lift this program up. You know, it was doing pretty good before, you know, I got here, and now I feel like we've kind of made a strong pipeline for the future. So I think we just definitely gotten our numbers up, getting more kids in from more different places, and it's really helped.
Yeah, I think the program sounds like it's set up for success long term, and Indiana's kind of been knocking on the door here. You know, the 6th grade team went down to Naples 2 years ago. All three teams at the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade level last year won their first game, just couldn't get by Kentucky. You know, what can we expect from FBU Team Indiana this season at all three grade levels? And do you think they're going to be able to punch through and get down to Naples?
Man, I really hope so. There's going to be a really, really, really talented 7th and 8th grade team this year. Our 6th grade team is always going to be a little bit harder trying to make sure that we get all the kids from our sixth grade programs, our middle school programs. So sixth grade is always going to be a little bit tougher, but from what I've seen of our seventh and eighth grade team, that we're looking really good right now. We're looking real strong.
And obviously, with your ties to elite high school football, you understand what good talent looks like even at an early age. So certainly something that our viewers will take to heart. Chad, before we let you go, give us one or two players at the 6th, 7th, or 8th grade level that people who are going to be tuning in watching this tournament should take note of.
We've got actually two kids on our 8th grade level right now. One, Gabe, he plays receiver for us. He's high school. In high school, he's probably going to be more of a running back, but just a super athletic kid, can play anywhere on the football field. Then we got another one, Lennox Williams, who is a linebacker. His older brother is Popeye Williams for Westfield. He's getting all the SEC Big Ten offers right now. He's a defensive end, but his younger brother Lennox on our 8th grade team he's a dog. And from what I've seen so far, he's going to be even better than Popeye when he gets that age.
Well, Chad, it sounds like there's 3 strong programs. It's littered with some great talent. Looking forward to hopefully seeing you guys down in the Paradise Coast. But thank you so much for your time, and we'll catch you soon, hopefully down in Naples.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Thanks.
The Football University National Championship celebrates its 10th year anniversary with 96 teams of 3,500 student athletes across 48 states competing for glory at the new state-of-the-art Paradise Coast Sports Complex located in beautiful Naples, Florida. Join the ranks of alumni like James Cook, Sam Howell, Trevor Lawrence, and many more. Make a statement. Leave your mark. Live your legacy.